This is it. This is the moment we have all been waiting for, a showdown between the creepy, soul-stealing other mother and our brave Coraline. In our hero's pocket are the souls of 3 children who've been trapped in the other mother's grasp for countless years. In her arms is her frightened, feline companion. And there, behind the other mother, is their path to freedom. Coraline has only one more thing to do: save her parents. When Coraline returns to the other mother, she greets Coraline by insisting again that she loves her. But Coraline knows it's a lie. Only a monster would consider all these lies and entrapment as forms of love. Hey team, just a reminder, if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. It really helps the channel out, and our next upload could be on something taught in your next class. Thanks, and back to the video. The drawing room of the other house appears the same as Coraline's real house, but when she looks out the window, Coraline realizes the truth. Outside the house is just mist and nothingness. The other mother's world is unraveling. She pulls the 3 soul marbles out of her pocket, but refuses to hand them over. After all, she still has to produce her parents. The other mother asks Coraline where she thinks her parents might be. Coraline points to the doorway. She says that her parents are hidden in the passageway between worlds. It seems that Coraline has a plan. The other mother decides to play along, producing the heavy black key that opens the door. Meanwhile, Coraline sneaks a look at the snow globe on the mantelpiece. The other mother inserts the key and pulls open the door, pointing triumphantly at the vacant doorway. The parents aren't there, and Coraline is wrong. The other mother is jubilant. Now Coraline must stay with her forever. But Coraline has her own tricks up her sleeve. She throws the cat at the other mother's face. The other mother screeches as the cat slashes her face, drawing thick black blood. Coraline grabs the snow globe and puts it in her pocket. She then calls for the cat to leave the other mother and follow Coraline through the door. It is cold in the corridor, but there's no time to waste. The other mother lunges for them, and Coraline strains to pull the door shut. The door is suddenly heavy, like she is trying to shut it against a high wind. Coraline feels the door beginning to close and becomes aware of people behind her. There are the ghost children, cheering her on. And then a voice like her real mother's calling out, encouraging her. The door seems to lighten, and Coraline pulls it shut. But not quite. At the last second, the other mother's sinewy hand reaches through the gap, clawing for Coraline. Desperate, Coraline yells for help. She feels ghost hands move through her, reaching for the door and lending her strength. And finally, with a crash, the door bangs shut. Coraline hears a scuttling thump of something hitting the floor. She cannot see what it is. The cat, in a hurry now, calls Coraline to follow him through the passageway to safety. Coraline's eyes finally adjust to the dark, and she can make out faintly glowing shapes ahead of her, 2 adults and 3 children. She hears the cat, too, padding in the dark in front of her. The passageway morphs around and under her. The walls feel warm and furry, as if a living thing was moving alongside her. The wind howls around her. She reaches for the wall again, and the walls feel hot and wet, as if she had put her hand in somebody's mouth. Yuck! Finally, Coraline emerges in her normal flat and slams the door closed behind her. She quickly locks the door and pockets the key. She has a chance now, finally, to take a breath, and she notices the black cat still looking on edge. Coraline apologizes to the cat. It was mean of her to use the cat as a weapon, but the cat seems to understand. Coraline feels like she needs to savour this moment, so she settles down and looks out at the garden. The light was real, not a white mist. Caught up in the beauty of the real world, she slips into a deep and dreamless sleep. Coraline's real mother wakes her up, and Coraline hugs her with all her might. Coraline's mother enjoys the tight hug, but is quickly back to business. It's dinner in 15 minutes, and Coraline better see to that scraped knee. Yep, everything's back to normal. Right? In her bedroom, Coraline empties her pockets. She notices that the couple that once stood inside the snow globe are gone. She puts the stone back into her pocket. She walks to her father's study and is certain, just by looking at him, that he is her real father. She gives him a kiss, and he happily scoops her up and carries her into the kitchen. Dinner that night is pizza with slices of green pepper and pineapple chunks. Coraline scoffs it down, leaving the pineapple chunks, of course. That night, Coraline puts the 3 grey marbles under her pillow. She dreams of being at a beautiful picnic with the 3 children who were once ghosts in the other mother's world. They eat food and play games in the sunshine. The 3 children thank her for her help and, as the children prepare to leave, they warn her that the fight is not over. The other mother lied about leaving Coraline alone, and the children say she will come for Coraline. The children say goodbye and walk away across the meadow to a place Coraline cannot follow. Coraline wakes very early to the sound of something moving. The footsteps were strange, as if it is a rat with an extra leg or something. She follows the scuttling sounds into the hallway and, there, moving for the door, is the other mother's right hand. It wants the key. The hand scuttles out into the garden and out of sight. When Coraline returns to bed again, the pillow crunches slightly. Checking underneath, she realises that the fragments of the glass marbles look like broken robin's eggs. Whatever was in the marbles is gone. Coraline also notices that her parents don't remember any of what they went through. Though, to be fair, her parents aren't the most aware people. It's Monday, and Coraline goes to visit Miss Spink and Miss Forcible for tea. They insist on reading her tea leaves again, and there, in the bottom of the cup, is a hand. Their dog Hamish is in hiding because he was attacked by something. Coraline has a feeling she knows what attacked poor Hamish. Out in the garden, the crazy old man says that his mice are afraid of something. He thinks there might be a weasel in the house, but Coraline knows better. That night, Coraline hears scratching at her window while she's in bed. When she checks the window, a white hand leaps out of sight. Coraline doesn't sleep well that night, jumping at every little sound. In the morning, Coraline hatches a plan. She asks for an old tablecloth from her mother and gathers her dolls and some tea things. She takes it all out to the well. Coraline removes the heavy planks and carefully lays the tablecloth across the top. Then she places doll cups around the edge of the well and fills the cups with water to weigh down the cloth. Coraline walks back to the house, swinging the key in the air. It's time to put Coraline's acting skills to work. She visits Miss Spink and Miss Forcible to check on how Hamish is doing. That's when she finds out that the crazy old man's name is actually Mr. Bobo. What a wonderful name! Coraline tells Miss Spink, very loudly, that she plans to play a game with her dolls and the big black key over by the old tennis court. Miss Spink warns her about the well. and is baffled by Coraline's imaginative ways. Back at the well, she announces to the dolls that she has brought the black key. She places it carefully in the centre of the picnic rug. From out of the corner of her eye, Coraline sees something bone-white scampering among the trees. Suddenly, it leaps, nails clacking, for the key at the centre of the tablecloth. Just as it reaches the key, the cloth collapses. Coraline watches as the hand, key, and teacups all tumble into the well. Coraline waits for the splash, then hauls the planks back onto the well. She doesn't want anything to ever get out. As Coraline collects her dolls, she is greeted by the black cat. She tickles the soft fur on its belly, and the cat purrs happily in the sunshine. Back at the house, she finds Mr. Bobo waiting for her on the driveway. He tells her the mice call Coraline their saviour, and that they are preparing a grand show just for her. Then she makes another visit to Miss Spink and Miss Forcible to return the stone, telling them it helped her save many lives. She hugs them both tightly and leaves them both a little puzzled. That night, Coraline feels safe enough to leave the windows open. She realises that she isn't afraid of starting school the next day. School is nothing compared to what she's just been through. Hang on, is that music? It sounds ever so sweet, like it's being played on tiny silver instruments. Coraline imagines herself back in her dream with the 3 children and drifts to sleep. Some happy endings are hard won. We must congratulate Coraline for persevering with such tremendous courage. Like Coraline, how might we brave the unexpected twists and turns of life? We hope you enjoyed this Schooling Online production. For more easy lessons, check out our other videos.